Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Naruto Was a Half God slash Demon slash Death, Part 7, and the end of this What If. So, yeah. But, I'm really trying to finish old What Ifs, so this will be the end. Part 2 of What If Naruto Was a Plan Uchiha might be coming out today. Also, what's it called? I was going to record, part 6, not 6, part 2 of it yesterday, but I got so tired and paranoid because I was watching way too many horror stories. Yeah, a bad idea. Don't watch horror stories if you get scared very easily at like the night. I don't know what I was thinking. But other than that, I am kind of tired, I should mention. I only slept for 5 hours. But yeah, I mean, that seems like a regular time for me. Yesterday I had an appointment for the dentist and I only slept for 5 hours or 4, I don't remember. Shit, I was tired. But other than that, let me go into the what if and shut the fuck up. So, I'm not gonna do a recap. So, let's begin. So, I don't know what I am screaming out loud. So we go into Naruto. Naruto is with the Kazekage right now, just kind of being a bodyguard. Now we go all the way forward towards the Chunin exam, the final Chunin exam. While what's it called? Some leaf gettings kind of did that got destroyed. Well, some people. So of course this is where I should mention the people who kind of got just defeated. Kiba and Izuka got defeated. Sakura Haruno was also defeated. What's it called? What's it called? Chojo, not Chojo. Choji. Shikamaru. Shikamaru is still kind of, he kind of gave up. He didn't care. He got defeated, so a bunch of people got defeated. Karu, for Team Kumo, Amoe actually was also defeated. Karu kind of got defeated also. Samuel did not get defeated. We go into the Stone team. What's it called? Kurisuki and what's it called? Laura Bakahotsu or whatever I call her last time. Didn't get defeated and they're right now in the finals. But of course the other guy got defeated. He was like, damn it. But of course Kurisuki says, good job at least. And she did smile at him. Now, of course, we go into the team. Chojuro kind of got really defeated. Haku was the only one still kind of alive on the team. But, of course, there's the other explosive guy. But the other explosive guy realized that there is going to be an invasion for what's it called, the Leaf Village. So he wants to get up all his strength and stamina up. So when he gets to kill a Leaf Ninjas, well, mercy. So, yeah. So of course Haku was the only one on that team who actually didn't just give up or got defeated. Next it would be the Sand team. Of course Gaara is not defeated because actually he kind of wanted to give up. Like he was going against Rock Lee and he could easily he was fighting against Rock Lee and of course he wasn't insane, but of course he was kind of like fighting against him with Taijutsu. Like, instead of original cannon using the sand. Of course, he uses the sand for defense, but of course, when it comes to Taijutsu, he was right now equally matched with, Rock Lee. Of course, he was going to give up after beating the crap out of Rock Lee. Until Tamari hits him in the head, saying, don't you dare give up. This is where Gaara got scared, but yeah. Of course, this is where Kankuro, he gave up instantly. He said, fuck that. I'm trying to get materials from Naruto, and he better give me all the materials I need for this goddamn invasion. So, of course, Tamari kind of went up, and she already defeated, but yeah. Of course, this is where, those Leaf Gettings that are not defeated are, Menma, Mento, Sasuke, Hinata. Hinata still went against Neji, but instead of, her being kind to Neji and not really attacking him that much and trying to be brave face or anything, she destroyed Neji and Neji was really hurt. Like he could have died. Of course, this is where, he didn't actually manage to die. Why? Because someone actually helped him. someone helped him kind of get back to life. And this person was, well, how should I say? Well, it was Karu from Team Kumo. She kind of noticed the Hyuga and sees that she was about, see that Neji was about to die until she then just zapped him with lightning to kind of pop up his like heart and other chakra points to wake up and all. Of course, Neji was confused and why she helped. And Karu says, "Shut up. I don't like helping you, leaf ninjas." Well, I don't know. This is where Neji kind of glares at her. And then she says, "It was a waste of time helping you." Neji says, "Wait. I'm sorry. I get angry when I see Kuma ninjas because, well, my father died." This is where Karu says, "So what? Are you just gonna hate me?" This is where Neji says, "No." This is where Neji gets up and just walks away. Now, of course, this is where Karu, just Kari or, I forgot her name. It's Karu or Karin? Not Karin. Karin is the red-haired girl. Karu, wait. Katori, Katori, that's her name. So, of course, this is where, well, Neji just kind of walked away from her, but yeah. Of course, she goes back to her team, but yeah. Now, of course, this is where Neji, he doesn't know what to do because he kind of hates the Leaf Village a lot. He is actually someone that hates the Leaf Village instead of wanting to protect it. He trains so hard, even though he's a side branch. Hinata Hyuga is the only one that was trained by the main branch, and of course she is considered to be a prodigy, while Neji is considered to also be a prodigy, but only in his own standards of being only a side branch, and still being pathetic weakling towards Hinata. So of course, Neji's angry. He always thought of going rogue, like his idea of going rogue was always like a dream that he wanted to do. He wanted to kind of, not destroy the Leaf Village, but destroy the Hyuga clan, and free his other side branch members. But of course, he didn't have the power. Until when Kari did happen with lightning, for some reason, he felt the rush of lightning, like he had a high affinity to lightning. Because Kari did actually awaken his chakra infinities. This is where, well, Neji's head did kind of hurt at his forehead. And of course, this is where, when he kind of did check in the mirror, he realized the seal was gone. So of course, he just decided to cover up with the ninja headman. And of course, this is where he says, "It's gone. What the? Why do I feel much powerful? I don't know. But with this power, could I? I'm free. How?" So of course, Karin didn't do it out of her own kindness. She was actually told by, well, the Raikage, and the Raikage was told by Naruto, because Naruto did meet what's it called Neji before he died, and how Neji hated Hinata and other things, and of course hated the whole system of the Leaf Village. So of course Naruto thought of a good idea to kind of give a special lightning towards the Raikage to give to Karin. So if Karin actually ever met Neji, kind of zap him with and get rid of the curse. Not curse mark, the bird, the cage bird. So of course, this is where, well, the Raikage was wondering why. This is where Naruto explains that if Neji is on their side, there's a good chance that Byakugan can go into, well, the like he then just says towards the how should I say, well, much easier into Kumo. This is where, well, the Raikage thinks about it and says, "Yes, that is true." That would actually be perfect. So Neji's eyes did kind of glow from, well, a palish white towards being palish white, but then turning in bluish lightning color. Now, of course, they also did have yellow in his other eye. This is where, well, he doesn't understand, but he can now use lightning. His eyes are more advanced. This is where he has to keep a secret, so the other Hyugas will never know. But we go into that 1 month time skip, and now it's in the final Chunin exam. So of course Naruto is right next to the Raikage wearing a Shinigami mask and having a black cloak, well, black and white cloak mostly. And of course is where he's like next to, well, the Kazekage. Next to the Raikage will be his two bodyguards, and the Raikage is just sitting in his own booth. This is where, well, the Kazekage is next to Minato, and Minato that's next to Minato is actually the Mizukage. The Mizukage is just like sitting with Zabuza and, well, Ayo. And of course, Zabuza does have his own mask, so what's it called? The Leaf Village won't identify him as the missing rogue ninja. Of course, this is where, well, next to what's it called, the Raikage will be Onoki, because Onoki wants to be far the fuck away from what's it called, Minato. And Minato was shocked to even hear that the the 4 villagers wanted to come to see their team, well, to kick the shit out of Leaf Ninja. Of course, Minato didn't think of anything wrong, suspicious. Of course, Onoki, he's being his kind of usual self, grumbling, saying, ah ha ha, being kind of cocky, but acting. Almost all of them are acting, trying to kind of be their original self without giving any hints of them being any alliance together. Naruto explains to them that they should not look like they're anything alliance together. Of course, May is right now just looking and saying, my team will definitely win, even though I only have one person in there. This is where she is just smiling, and yeah, this is where Minato is seeing May for the first time. She's the Mizukage. This is where he heard that what's called the Revolution Army and what's called the Mizu village has stopped, and so she became the Mizukage. Sees this Kazekage still being stoic and just looking for what to call his son, because that's what Minato's thinking. He looks at the Raikage, and the Raikage is still, he has like what's it called, a dumbbell, and actually working out while looking at the what's it called, at the view of the stadium. And this is where Onoki is having back problems, like acting like he has back problems. But something happened. Before Naruto actually let Onoki go towards the, kind of all of them go, Naruto healed Onoki, bringing back some of his life back. Naruto can do that when he has what's it called, he mastered the heavenly side. Well, he is not a master of any of the, what's it called, powers yet. But for the heavenly side, he actually managed to use the goddess power, the god power, by kind of restoring Onoki's age into, well, Onoki would have been, so Onoki was like 80 years old, and of course he did have kind of a few back problems, but before he even goes into the Chunin exam, Naruto uses his kind of god power, and his god power did glow into like a golden color, and it looked like what's it called, medical jutsu, like it was, if it was green, it turned green for a second. Well, it was green that he kind of activated, and then it turned gold, like a goldenish yellow. This is where he touches Onoki, like in the back. Well, not in the back, mostly in the front, bringing back, well, his youth. Bringing back him into, well, dividing 80, not dividing 80, kind of just subtracting 80 with 40. And now he was 40 years old. Of course, he looks still old because that was just an illusion that Onoki kind of put on. But of course, Onoki is now 40 years old. And of course, he doesn't have back problems no more. Of course, he still has particle release and all them other things. It wasn't like reverse age. It didn't reverse his age. It just kind of took, well, it was reverse age at the same time. It was just healing him back to his youth, bringing back life. This is where, well, he didn't like reverse his mind or anything. His mind was still sharp and wise, but at the same time he still had particle release, mastery over it. But now he can actually use more of a better particle release than the original canon, because he now has what's called his youth back, only being age 40, but still youth enough. It isn't his much of his prime, because Naruto wasn't much of a mastery and could only go up to 40, well, back to 40. Of course, Onoki didn't mind, and of course, what's it called, both of Onoki's what's it called bodyguards kind of just bow down for Naruto and say thank you. But yeah, the Raikage says, so you can bring the youth back to anyone, right? Can you bring back people from the dead? Naruto says, I can, but I don't like doing that. It's a disrespect for people who are great in battle. The Raikage nodded. He says, okay, I see. So, you can bring very powerful people back from the dead. Like Madara Uchiha. No, I'm not bringing Madara Uchiha back because that would just cause a very disrupt in our plans. This is where the Raikage nodded. This is where he says, wait, you knew about Madara Uchiha? Yeah, I can always bring him back and I can always put him back into the grave. I'm not gonna make him stay around here. He's purely evil. But yeah. Now, Naruto does not know about what's called the Akatsuki's plan that much or anything like that. But yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Raikage nodded and he says, okay. This is where Naruto says, you're wondering if I could bring your, previous Raikage. Well, the previous Raikage. This is where A kind of says, yeah, but now that I think about it, nah. I think he would rather relax in doing whatever in heaven or whatever he's at. Bastard died, so he can just throw the paperwork onto me. Fucking old man. But yeah, he's just angry. This is where the Kazekage says, okay, let's go, Lucifer. Naruto nodded and just kind of walked with the Kazekage. Now we go back into the final exam. Now, of course, this is where Minato gives out a speech about whatever bullshit like an original canon for Hiruzen. And of course, this is where, not for Hiruzen, from like Hiruzen. And of course, this is where, Minato has two bodyguards. Tsunade of the legendary Sani and, Jiraiya next to him. This is where Naruto notices. And of course, he can easily kill them in an instant and kill Minato. But of course, he's not doing it right now. He's having his hand kind of like shake a little bit. This is where no one notices, but of course, the Kazekage says, calm down, Lucifer. This is where Lucifer nodded. So of course, this is where Naruto is just getting ready. So of course, we go into the first match. The first match being, Sasuke versus Gaara. Now, Sasuke is still late with Kakashi, so of course the next match would be Menma Uzumaki versus Haku. Haku. This is where Haku and Menma starts fighting. Of course, this is where Haku is not showing enough speed or anything. And of course, he has his own mask. A kind of like, just a mask. So, Menma wouldn't notice him. Because Menma does remember someone named Haku, but he can't really remember his face. So, of course, this is where Haku's using the needle sword to stab at Menma. And, of course, when Menma kind of fights back at, Haku, Menma then goes into the Nine Self Cloak, because he does have it. And so Sarge tried to fight at, Haku, try and claw him. That's where Haku gives up, because he sees he's outmatched. And this is where the proxy says, Menma has won. This is where Menma smirks and says, what a bunch of pathetic weaklings. That's where Haku could have easily taken out Menma even if he was in the Nine-Tails Cloak. Because Menma was right now in the One-Tails Cloak. That's how much he has mastered. Well, not One-Tails. He mastered up to Two-Tails. But yeah. Of course, this is where, Haku really wanted to throw the sword at him to see how fast he will be able to react before it cut him through the throat, hit him through the throat. But that is not his choice to kill Menma. Because his choice is to kind of just kill other Leaf Ninjas. The people, Naruto target 4 people in total that he wanted to kill. Minato Namikaze, Kushina Uzumaki, Menma Uzumaki Namikaze, and Minto Uzumaki Namikaze. Now, of course, they never understand why, but of course, this is where, they never cared of asking. Of course, this is where, they just nodded. So, of course, this is where next match is Mento versus, Tamari. Now, Tamari does go and fight her, but of course, she's using wind attacks at Mento, and Mento is dodging the attacks. And this is where she sends great wind break through. Windsaw. Great breaker, or great windsaw breaker, whatever the hell it's called. Of course, sends a very powerful gust of wind and hits Tamari, and Tamari gets pushed back, and this is where Tamari wants to fight towards and win. But this is where, she can clearly see that Mento's using the Nine-Tails Cloak also. This is where Tamari sees that she's no match, and so she gives up. This is where Mento says, yeah, I won, you stupid bitch. This is where Tamari really wants to kill Mento, but of course she can't, because Mento's a Nine-Tails Cloak, and she wants to respect Lucifer's wishes. So yeah. Of course, the next match will be, Sasuke versus Kakashi. Or not Sasuke. Bleh, not. Sasuke has actually a rival to fight against Gaara. Now, the signal is between actually Gaara. So, of course, I should also mention that an army is outside of Konoha. And that is between, different gates. What's it called? So from the east, the what's called Mist Village army is coming through there from the east gate, but of course they're like waiting farther from the east gate. From the north gate, it is the Kuma ninjas. From the west gate, it is stone ninjas, and from the last but not least south gate, it is the what's it called, the sand ninjas. So yeah, there's an army coming. Of course, they are being commanded by their, different officers, but yeah. This is where, Naruto, he is seeing what's called a fight between, Gaara and Sasuke. Sasuke uses Chidori to try to stab into Gaara, but Gaara does turn into the Shikaku, but he's not in Berserk, but this is where he hits Sasuke, clawing him. This is where Sasuke says, Kah! This is where, Gaara had to just kick Sasuke straight to the wall, so everyone would be distracted while Sasuke is trying to get back up. So that was her plan. Kind of a signal. This is where Sasuke tries to attack Gaara, until Gaara appears right in front of him, having the giant sand fist, and punching Sasuke so hard, hitting him to the wall. This is where he goes, Pah! This is where, Gaara didn't just do that. He punched him, but also threw explosive tags so fast into Gaara, no one actually realized that. Of course, this is where Sand actually moved the explosive tags that were in the fist, put him in what's called Sasuke, but still punch him really hard. And this is where Gaara says Kai. This is where boom, a huge ass explosion, but not just from Gaara's explosion tags, but from near the villages. Near around the village. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, this is basically the another plan that happened. Naruto explained that when Gaara does use explosive tags, Naruto will also use explosive tags. So meaning him, Lucifer. This is where Lucifer does say Kai, and this is where everything started blowing up. This is where Minato's confused until he gets punched in the face so fast that he couldn't react. This is where he gets sent into multiple buildings. This is where Tsunade and Jiraiya starts wondering what the Raikage is doing. And they realize that the Raikage is probably trying to invade the Leaf Village. So of course this is where Jiraiya tries to send a Rasengan at the Raikage until Anuki says particle style. This is where the particle style is about to hit Jiraiya until Jiraiya actually dodges. This is where he realized that maybe the Kumo and Stone Kages are actually working together. This is where he looks at the Kazekage and the Mizukage. The Mizukage is actually attacking Tsunade. This is where the Kazekage is using golden sand to try to crush her. This is where Jiraiya realized that 4 of the great villages are actually all working together. And this is where multiple ninjas that were kind of getting near, and of course heard the explosive and heard the firework that actually also launched up. Because when the Raikage did punch Minato, Naruto run really fast and send multiple fireworks up in the sky. Fireworks up in the sky. They were all labeled different colors. Blue for the Mist Village to attack. Yellow for Kuma to attack. Brown for Stone ninjas to attack. And even a goldenish, not goldenish, a kind of brownish, lightish brown color, and that is Sand ninjas. That's where all of them starts attacking, running through the gates and easily killing the gate guards and start just running through. Of course, multiple of the Konoha, the wall and all that, starts getting destroyed by, Sand, Kumo, Stone, and even Mist ninjas attacking. This is where Zabuza, he jumps down to fight against Jonins. Of course, takes his mask and readies to cut Kakashi down. He says, Kakashi! I'm going to rip you to shreds! This is where Kakashi widens his eyes, seeing Zabuza again, with the executioner cutting him, trying to cut him. This is where Kakashi managed to dodge, and this is where Kakashi says, What the? Damn it! How are you alive? Didn't I kill you? This is where Zabuza laughs and says, "You think you kill me? I'll kill you first." This is where, well, Kakashi's right now dodging attacks from, well, mostly Zabuza. This is where, well, what's it called? Asuma tries to help Kakashi until he gets attacked by someone with a needle. Yes, this is Haku. Haku says, "I will not let you hurt my master, Zabuza." This is where Asuma says, "Whatever, get away from me." This is where he tries to use his chakra blades, mostly his two knuckle blades, I forgot what they're called, but chakra blades, to attack Haku. And Haku's really easily deflecting them with the, what's it called, needle. Of course, sending also Senbons at, well, Asuma. Asuma is having to dodge. This is where Karna is trying to get towards what's it called, Kakashi, because there's no way in Kakashi's state he'd be able to, well, maybe fight against Zabuza. But of course, this is where Karna tries to help Kakashi. This is where, well, she's getting closer until someone exploded right in front of her. And this is, well, Samoid actually appeared right in front of her. But of course, Kurisugi was also next to her, and even Tamari. This is where they say, "You're gonna have to fight against us." This is where Karna says, "Whatever, Genjutsu release." This is where all of them say Kai at the same time, spelling the Genjutsu. Samoid appearing right in front of Karna, sending lightning into Karna. And of course, this is where Kurisugi was about to punch Karna until, what's it called, Anko appeared using snakes to grab Kurisugi and throw her away. That's where Tamari had to help Kurisugi and says, "Wind style, wind slices," cutting through, well, these snakes. Now, this is where we go into, well, Killer Bee fighting against some people. He's mostly fighting against, well, another Jonin, and that is, well, Might Guy. This is where both Killer Bee and Might Guy are right now fighting. This is where, what's it called? The Two Tails. Yeah, Yujito? Yeah, I think that's her name. Yujito saw her, well, kind of precious Genin fighting. Mostly, what's it called? Samui. And this is where even Sayana saw her precious Genins. Of course, jumps down to help them because they're fighting against, well, two Jonins and there won't be enough. So, of course, this is where Sayana appears, sending a giant gust of, like, blast of water right in front of, well, Anko. This is where Anko managed to dodge. Well, almost dodge. She actually did get hit into the wall. This is where Karnai pushes Samui in and tries, well, not Samui in, pushes her away and tries to cut her in the neck. This is where Yujito appears and, of course, did grab the kunai and starts burning Karnai's hand. Karnai screams, "Ah!" This is where Yujito says, "Fire style, blue flame slices." This is where Karnai goes, "Ah!" But yeah, this is where, well, Uncle realizes and tries to help Karnai until Sayana is appearing all near her and always cutting her snakes using what's called water swords because she created from the moisture and cutting through any of the snakes. This is where Uncle's saying, "Damn it, you bitch." But yeah, of course we go into Killer Bee fighting against, well, not Raikage, mostly fighting against Maikai. And Maikai is right now using what's called 3 of the gates to fight against, well, Killer Bee. And Killer Bee isn't even in his tail cloak. He's saying, "Yeah!" You know, he just starts kind of rapping and fighting against Maikai. And Maikai is saying, "I don't understand why you are attacking this village. But with the power of youth, I will win." This is where, well, Killer Bee is saying, "Well, your power of youth won't work on me because I'll be able to rap a battle." Or whatever, I can't rap. But it's similar to those lines that mostly Killer Bee, instead of saying the power of youth might help you, the power of rap will help me against you and defeat you, fool. This is where, well, both Might Guy and Killer Bee are right now clashing with fists and what's called legs, but yeah. This is where, well, Mento and Menma were running, trying to get towards her father until someone appeared. The guy with a black and white cloak appeared. Well, had half. One side was black, one side was white. Of course, had the Shinigami mask. This is where, well, Naruto says, "I can't let you get anywhere near Minato Namikaze. That bastard will die." This is where Mema says, "I'll show you who will die." He goes into the tail cloak, Two Tails, and rushes at Naruto, intending to claw at him. Naruto just blocks it with one finger. Think of it like Aizen when Aizen blocked what's it called, the main character's sword with a Bankai. But Naruto blocked the claw attack mostly pointing his finger into the palm. And this is where Menma was shocked. That mostly the palm should have broke through the person's finger, but instead got blocked. And this is where Naruto, he puts his hand up, just like how Aizen did. His like 2 fingers up, the index and the middle finger up, and of course had his other fingers closed up, and just sliced air. And of course, this is where Menma coughed up blood and had a slice through his like torso. So yeah, think of it like basically like Aizen, okay? Basically how Aizen, Aizen kind of beat the shit out of Ichigo at that first time when Ichigo finally learned how to use Bankai fighting against Byakuya, but then fighting against Aizen, he got his ass beat. So yeah, and yes, Aizen did also stop what's called Ichigo's like the theme music, which is fucking epic. But not other than that, let me go back into what. So of course, this is where Naruto stopped that attack and easily sliced at Menma. And this is where Naruto kicked at Menma's stomach. When Menma was falling down, he then gets kicked and launched into more buildings. That's where Naruto says, "Damn it, you bastard! You hurt my brother!" Naruto says, "I did. What about your other brother?" This is where Naruto stopped. She froze. This is where she says, "What do you mean?" Naruto says, "Don't play dumb, Mento. I'm talking about Naruto Uzumaki. Do you not miss him? You know, the one reason he died was because of your father killing him? Did your father ever tell you that?" This where Mento was confused. She does remember about Naruto who died so long ago. This is where she says, "I don't care. He was nothing but a worthless weakling." And this is where Naruto takes off his mask slowly, changing his hair back to blonde. And this is where he says, "Hey sis, it's been a while." This is where Naruto's eyes are different, showing one to be just crimson red, just like pure dark crimson red. And of course, around the eye, instead of just being white, it's black. This is where in the other eye, it's blue, like a crystallized blue, but also have light around it, like white, and has this light glow, while the other one has this crimson red glow. This is where Naruto says, "Hey sis." And of course, what's it called? It looks like the avatar behind Naruto was one an angel side, and the other side a demonic, demonic presence side. It's where Naruto says, "Hey sis, it's been a while." When he kind of raises up his mask a little bit, it's where Naruto says, "Naruto." This is where Naruto says, "Yes, you stupid bitch, thinking I'm pathetic weakling. I'll show you, pathetic weakling." Naruto puts back his mask, appears right in front of Mento, grabs him from the shoulder, and then knees her in the stomach so hard, Mento coughed up blood. No, please, let me in. She then gets punched again in the face, smashing her into the freaking wall. This is where next to Menma. This is where Naruto's laughing and saying, "You guys are pathetic. And you two, I thought you two would be the Nine-Tailed Cloak." Well, not Nine-Tailed Cloak. I thought you two would be the Nine-Tailed host. Where's that power, you pathetic weaklings? Now we go back into the Kages fighting against Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Minato. Minato says, "Damn it. I see, so you all decided to betray me. Even you, Kazekage, dare to betray me. Then, I guess I will have to defeat you." This is where, Minato was about to rush at, using his flying Raijin and all that, at, the the 4 Kages, until something happened. Someone appeared right in front of him. That's where, Minato's kind of, shirt kind of got lifted up, and this is where Naruto says, "Death Seal." This is where Naruto says, "Shinigami Death Seal." This is where a Shinigami behind Naruto appears, but this is only a clone Naruto, and the Shinigami knows that it's kind of unstable to have a clone do this. But this is where Naruto says, "Suppression Seal, forever." This is where the Shinigami puts onto Naruto's hand, smashes that, hand into Minato. Minato coughed up, like spits, because it was so hard, and maybe some ribs kind of got broken. But of course, there was a seal all around Minato, being put all around. This is where the seal twisted into being just a seal, kind of looking like the 9 social jerky seal and all that Minato kind of put. But of course, being more advanced and having more seals all around. And these seals, the symbols and all that, are different from normal human language. It's basically the language of a god. You need to be god level to learn this language. And this is where Minato goes, this is where Minato, he falls backwards. Because, yeah, that thing was powerful. This is where Jiraiya and Tsunade punches, what's it called, Naruto's really hard. But this is where Naruto, his mask broke, but this is where he poofed away. And his mask did also break and poofed away. This is where the Shinigami disappeared. This is where, well, the Raikage says, I think this is now our chance. Since this, what's it called, chakra is suppressed forever. Isn't it? Yeah, it is. We gotta start attacking now. This is where the Kazekage sends a giant wave of golden dust, like golden sand dust, at both Jiraiya and Tsunade. This is where Minato gets back up and says, Flying Regent, level 1. This is where he tries to teleport, but when the, what's it called, kunai gets close to, the Kazekage basically grabs it with his golden sand before the golden sand wave tries to crush Minato. And this is where the Kazekage says, huh? I thought you were so fast, Minato Namikaze. What's wrong with that speed? Come on, run at us. What's wrong with your speed, huh? This is where Minato feels extremely weak. Like he just lost, well, not extremely weak. He has his stamina and everything else, but he feels like he can't use chakra. This is where the sand hits him and smashes him into a wall. This is where Jiraiya and Tsunade says, Minato! But yeah, this is where the Raikage says, so that kid wasn't lying. This is good. The Raikage goes into a lightning cloak. This is where the Kazekage smiles more devilishly. This is where he says, good. Lucifer's really doing good. This is where, well, Mr. Kage says, I really didn't mind to kill this person. He just looks like a kid, yet he's an idiot. This is where May just gets this kind of angry expression. Seeing, what's it called? Not angry expression. She mostly has this kind of smirking expression saying, oh, the fastest man really isn't the fastest man. Well, his little techniques of chakra. This is where the Onoki finally gets this like evil smile saying, I'm going to enjoy ripping you another Minato Namikaze just like you killed those doubts and shinobis. This is where chaos is happening around the Leaf Village. The Leaf Village has been trying to attack what's it called, the School, Stone Ninjas, even the Sand, and even what's it called, the Mist Ninjas, but they can't go anywhere near because they're getting killed. And they try to send a message towards the waterfall, but the waterfall is right now just devastation that they can't even do anything. They don't have any alliances. They can't do anything exactly. Now, of course, this is where, well, Kabuto was there, and of course, he wanted to, like, still kind of give his master what's it called, the destruction of Konoha, even though he doesn't know where Orochimaru will be at. And this is where, well, what's it called? Don't know. But I don't know why I said that. What's it called? Kabuto says, I will destroy Konoha. This is where he's confused. He sees 4 different, the great, what's called, 5 nations, but mostly 4 of those nations destroying Konoha. This is where he's shocked. This is where he doesn't mind. He tells the, what's called, the Sound Ninjas to go help them and kill more of the Leaf Ninjas. Kabuto's thinking maybe I can get an alliance with him. Maybe I can finally find a way to bring back Orochimaru. But yeah. Of course, this is where Naruto, he is right now fighting against Mento and even what's it called? Mento and, well, Menma. And of course, he's pulling out this black dagger and fighting against them, clashing with them. Now, of course, they're in the Nine-Tailed Cloak and they're raging. Mento is right now in rage, and even Menma. Menma doesn't know that this is Naruto, but this is where Mento is the only one to actually know this is Naruto. And they're clashing and clashing. Naruto's easily just clashing with the dagger. He's not even using his like physical body that much, or any power that much. He's easily just blocking them. He's saying, you guys are pathetic. You guys don't deserve to live. This is where he clashes with them more. Of course, they're right now in the Four-Tailed Cloak. And of course, this is where Yamato, he can't get to what's called Menma and Mento to stop them from going any more rampage. Because, well, he's dealing with his own problems. He's fighting against other, what's it called, Kuma ninjas. And more Stone ninjas and other people. And even Jonins. So, yeah. Now, of course, this is where, well, This is where Neji saw the destruction of Konoha, but this is where he got his chance to rush and kill Hinata. This is where he was about to just stab Hinata with his fingers being lightning cloaked. This is where Hinata turns around and said, Neji? No! Kai! She then goes into the hand sign to kind of use the cage bird seal. And this is where Neji doesn't feel it. Instead, he stabs into Hinata. Hinata gets stabbed near her chest or near her heart. Neji missed because this is where an attack from Hiyashi almost hit him. This is where Neji says, I will kill you so I can bring back the pride of the Hyuga. Make everyone free, you pathetic weakling. Hinata's right now coughing up blood and she's saying, Dad. This is where Hiyashi's pissed. This is where, he's confused why the hand seal won't work. This is where Neji takes it and says, I don't have it no more. You bastard, I'll kill you. This is where he tries to stab with his fingers at Hiyashi. Now his speed increases faster and is right now rivaling that of Hiyashi's speed, even though Hiyashi is older than Neji. This is where Hiyashi and Neji are right now colliding attacks. This is where Neji says, I will defeat you. I will free my clan. I will do all this just for my clan to be safe again. Mostly the side branch. You main branch will die today. But yeah. Hinata tries to get up until she has a blade near what's called her, not a blade, two Tonto blades on her shoulder, stabbed in. This is where she screams, and this is where Hiyashi turns around really fast, seeing a girl with dark skin and red hair, kind of stabbing Hinata, putting both of the blades into Hinata's shoulder so she won't be able to use her arms. This is where Hiyashi says, no! This is where Neji says, 128 palm strike! This is where his hands goes into, a blur motion, but this is where the lightning increases the speed, going faster and faster. This is where lightning was putting into, Hiyashi so fast that Hiyashi could just feel all his body feeling like lightning, paralyzed. And this is where Hiyashi coughed up blood, but he can't move. This is where, Neji goes up to, what they call Karin, and Karin kind of says, took you long enough to kill him, or did you even kill him? Neji says no. This is where he kind of grabs the blade from Hinata, and this is where Karin says, hey, what are you doing? This is where Neji says, I'm finishing the job, what do you think? Cuts Hiyashi's head off. This is where Hiyashi his eyes went back of his head, and now he has a lifeless dead head. Well, a lifeless body. This is where his body falls down after that, because Neji pushed it back. This is where Hinata's gonna be saying, no, you bastard! This is where Neji, he goes and puts a blade back into Hinata, but this time instead of her shoulder, he stabs into her leg, and this is where she's screaming painful. This is where Neji says, you have anything to kind of just stop her from kind of screaming? It's annoying. Karin says, yeah, I do. Do you want it? This is where Neji says, yeah, I do. This is where Karin, she just torns a little bit of her shirt and all that. And of course, this is where, she kind of just puts it on Hinata's mouth. And Hinata's crying because she saw her dad just die to her, cousin, Neji Hyuga. This is where Neji's eyes are a different color. And this is where, Hinata saying, she can't really speak. Because Karin did put it in really tight, the gaggle. This is where she's screaming and she can't really scream because she can't really talk. And this is where, Neji did hit her somewhere in the vocal cord, so stopping her from actually speaking anymore. And this is where Neji kind of looks at Karin, or mostly the dark hair, not dark hair, dark skin and red hair girl. And this is where Neji says thanks for, helping me out. This is where Karin says, sure, no problem. Are you not gonna probably attack me? I feel like you are. Neji says, nah, I'm not. This is where Neji gets closer. And this is where she says, what do you do? This is where Neji hugs her instead. This is where Neji says, well, thank you for the power that you gave me. Now I get to kill what's called the main branch. I don't mind if my family goes to Kumo, my side branch family. I do not mind in what your village has planned for us. It's better than being here in this hellhole. This is where Karin starts going flustered, and is right now just shocked that Neji is actually willing to go to, well, Kumo, instead of putting up a fight or anything like that. This is where, well, she says, oh, then you're welcome at least, I think. But yeah, Naruto, he's easily clashing with what's it called? Well, Menma and Mental. But yeah. Of course, clashing with them so easily. It's where Naruto saying, you guys are pathetic. You guys will never be able to defeat me. This is where they're getting angrier and fighting him. Going into the five-tailed cloak and actually trying to fight against him with speed. This is where Naruto easily blocks their attacks with just one dagger and one finger at Menma. This is where Naruto says, you pathetic beast, you will never be able to defeat me. I will finally get my revenge. This is where Kushina comes out of nowhere and tries to punch at the masked man that was fighting against her two children. This is where Naruto turns around and pulls out two blades. One blue, one red, and then a scythe that was on his mouth. And this is where Naruto says, three weapon style cut, what's it called, 9 times a slice. This is where, well, he cut Kushina into 9 pieces, killing her in an instant. Because even though she has the Uzumaki chains or anything like that, Naruto was so much faster. Naruto was pissed more at Kushina. This is where he finally just wanted to end her life. This is where when Mento and Menma saw it, they were horrified, even though they were in the cloak berserk state, and they went more berserk. Going, ah! They finally go into, well, 8-tailed cloak. This is where Naruto says, I guess you two will be fighting me. Then let's see who's stronger. This is where we go into, well, figures appearing into the middle of the village. Someone with orange hair, having all piercings all around his face, and even on his hand and all that. And this is where he says, Almighty, or should I say, Shinrai Tensai. Or what was the French one? Am I like a bully? I remember seeing the French one, but no. So yeah. He says Shinrai Tensai and blasts everything away. This is where Kuma ninjas, stone ninjas, mist ninjas, and even sand ninjas got blown away. Even the leaf ninjas and sound ninjas. This is where a bunch of figures appeared, and it's mostly the Akatsuki. Except for Obito. Obito's right now on like a building, watching the destruction of Konoha. He's happy. But this is where someone is right next to him. Someone that he actually managed to bring back from the dead. And that is Madara Uchiha. This is where, well, Madara says, I see chaos around the Leaf Village. This is interesting. So are you sure that all the tailed beasts are in the Leaf Village? Probably. This is where, what's it called? Well, not probably. He said, Obito said, they're probably here. All of them, because if all villagers are attacking, that means they brought all Jinchurikis. Even the Nine-Tails is here. This is where Madara says, good. Then, let's start this goddamn battle. This is where the Akatsuki join. Kisame is right now fighting against, yeah. So, all of them starts fighting. And, of course, Deidara is saying, Kai! Blowing up, what's it called, stone and leaf ninjas, and even sand ninjas. This is where Sasori's cutting through them. But, of course, Sasori got blocked by an actual, well, puppet master. And this is Chiyo and, well, someone else appeared. Kankuro. This is where, well, they start fighting. But, yeah, Madara jumps down and starts fighting, clashing with everyone. This is where, well, the Diva Path saw the Nine-Tails cloak figures, tail beasts, basically the Jinchurikis, and kind of says universal pull and pulls them towards him and starts trying to fight them. And of course, this is where Jiraiya and, well, Minato and Tsunade ran off fighting against the cop. Well, the 5 Kages, until, well, this is where, oh shit, my fucking case ripped. Sorry, not about that. They start trying to just keep fighting, but yeah. This is where Naruto saw, well, his kind of siblings got taken away, but he doesn't care. He then goes to kill Minato. He really wants to kill his, well, father. Because Minato is trying, with just normal speed and having a kunai to kind of, and shurikens and other things to throw at, well, the Kages. This is where he isn't doing anything. This is where he told Jiraiya and Tsunade to kind of give him cover fire. so he can go check on his seal, on his stomach. This is where, well, Jiraiya and Tsunade are trying to go against the 4 Kage. But this is where Minato is hiding in a building. And since he has no chakra, the Kages can't sense him, but someone can. Someone from the dark corner of Minato's vision kind of appeared. This is where, well, Minato seeing the seal that was put on him. That's where Minato says, damn it! Why the seal looks so much complicated? Damn, I have to hurry this up and figure out how to get rid of this. This is where the dark figure starts walking. His boots kind of clanging on the, well, floor. His black pants showing. His white and black cloak just flowing through the air, kind of defining gravity. And this is where, well, his mask, the Shinigami mask, is showing. From the eye holes of the mask are showing a very lightish blue color and a crimson red color. This is where, well, Minato's saying, damn it, I have to hurry this up. Damn it, damn it, damn it. No. He's trying to figure out how to get rid of this, but he can't even use chakra. So this is where he says, I wish there was some way to get rid of this. This is where the figure says, there is? Well, he says, there is something to get rid of it. Minato widens his eyes and looks up. Looks to see a figure. The same figure that he was next to the Kazekage. This is where he says, You were the one to give me the seal. I saw you before Tsunade and Jiraiya destroyed your clone. This is where Naruto says, yes, father. It was me that I was the one to give you that seal. How do you like it? The fact that you have no chakra, no way to use your flying Raijin, no way to do anything. You're just a pathetic weakling now. Huh? This is where Minato says, what? Father? No, you can't be alive. This is where Naruto, from behind him, he throws Kushina's head in front of Minato. Minato widens his eyes and gets angrier, glares at this person. He's saying, you can't be him. You can't be. Naruto takes off his mask and shows his blonde hair. But of course it turns black after kind of showing a little bit of blonde hair turn back to black. This is where Naruto showing his eyes and saying, it is me, father. It's me back from the dead, and I came here to do my revenge, killing you, Kushina Uzumaki, Minato and Mento and Menma, and then my revenge will be complete. This is where Minato says, oh no you don't. He rushes with a kunai trying to intend to kill Naruto, and Naruto, what he does is activate the seal. It's not just a seal to suppress Minato's chakra, but it's a seal to kind of make pain in, well, how should I say, Minato's body. Minato screamed out loud, saying, ah! This is where the seal is glowing in what's called a whitish color. A white but black color. This is where he's screaming and he can't get the seal off of him. He kind of tries to throw a kunai at Naruto, but Naruto just grabs it and just shatters it. This is where Naruto says, don't worry, father. It will be all over. Naruto's hand goes into this whitish, misty teal glow color and goes on top of, well, not on top of Minato. He kind of goes right in front of Minato, and Minato's on the ground, screaming. This is where Naruto's other hand, what's it called, his left hand, is right now having a seal, a ram seal, to kind of activate the seal. Naruto's misty teal, well, not misty teal, kind of a misty teal, not teal, misty whitish color, like a misty whitish color appear, kind of being gray in his right hand, going forward for the seal. And this is where he puts his like hand into it, and this is where he grabs onto something, and Minato widens his eyes to say, no, you can't. Naruto puts his feet on what's it called, Minato, starts ripping out, well, not on feet. Yeah, puts his feet on Minato's chest and started ripping out something. Is there a minute to say, no, you can't. No, Naruto, you. Naruto takes out this white orb, and it is Minato Namakaise's soul. That's where Naruto says, you're too good to go to hell. You're too good to go to heaven or anything. Instead, I would just erase you from this world. Crushes it in his hand, erasing it from existence. If ever Minato was ever to be revived back, it would just be a husk. It would not have a soul or anything. This is where, well, Minato's soul was erased. But Naruto looks at the body, and this is where Naruto his misty tail, white hand starts going around Minto's body, erasing his physical body also, destroying it all. This is where Naruto says, now it's time for Minto and Menma. So of course Minto and Menma are right now fighting against the Akatsuki. Of course Itachi says, Tsukiyo. His eyes gets plucked so fast that he couldn't even use Tsukiyomi, and then gets his head cut off. This is where, a sword being crimson red gets his head cut off. This is where Naruto has the eyes in his hand. And this is where he crushes him. This is where, he disappears. Because he didn't want the, Nine Tails to be taken out easily. So of course, killing Itachi was the fastest way. Kisame notices and says, you bastard! Naruto disappears and runs towards a man named Danzo Shimura. Because he figured out where Danzo was at. Danzo and his root almonds are trying to attack, everyone. But of course, they're getting kind of killed. And there's a Danzo says, damn it. If only I had the Nine Tails. Maybe I can get the other Chinchuriki tail beast, yes. This is where he starts walking down slowly, and this is where Naruto appears behind his shadow and says, hello there, Danzo Shimura. Danzo turns around so fast, but sees nothing behind him. That's where he says, it must be my illusion. This is war, so I gotta turns around, sees a mask with one blue eye and one red eye, having a cloaked figure and having a black dagger. And this is where the person stabs his dagger into, Danzo. Danzo felt this unimaginable pain all around his body. These black veins started appearing from the dagger all the way through Danzo Shimura's body. Naruto says, if you don't mind, turn into liquid. This is where he twisted the blade. And this is where Danzo's body, his whole entire body turns into black liquid and dies. A soul appears and Naruto grabs and crushes it in his hand, saying, you're too evil. You must suffer your pain. This is where he sent Shimura and Danzo into the 9 realms, but just into the 9th realm of hell. This is where Danzo, he is right now in this white, plain void. This is where he has nothing. Nothing at all. All of things is quiet. He can't hear his voice. He can't feel or touch. He's going insane. He is nothing, but yet something. So yeah. But we go into Naruto after stabbing his dagger, rushes back towards what's called Minto and Menma. Menma and Minto are right now fighting to what's called Akatsuki, but of course they're losing. This is where Madara is right now fighting, and Naruto noticed what's called Madara being back and being Edo Tensei. Naruto appears right in front of Madara, and Madara says, who are you? Naruto says, you shouldn't be back. Go back where your soul. This is where Naruto, he then grabs Madara from the head and rips out Madara's soul. The Edo Tensei decides to crumble into nothing. Madara is shocked. Naruto was glowing red eyes. This is where Madara realized that this person has definitely something stronger than any tail beast anything. And Naruto just throws Madara back into hell. He doesn't care. Back into the void he goes. So yeah. This is where, Black Sensei was shocked to see this, and he had to bring warning, but Naruto noticed him so fast. Naruto says, you might not have a soul, but I'll erase you in an instant. Naruto just swiped his hand, and he got erased in an instant. Black and White Zetsu. Because they don't have a soul, and so Naruto was just getting rid of them. Sorry. I've been talking for so long, I need water, but let me get it. But of course, this is where, we go back into the Akatsuki. The Akatsuki finally managed to capture, stab them down to the ground. Both Menma and Minto. That's where Naruto appears and decides to kind of walk slowly towards him. And Naruto said, it seems that you two managed to not you two. You two managed to be captured by pathetic weaklings. This is where the Diva Path sees this person. Says Shinrai Tensei. Brings Naruto towards him, but Naruto wasn't even being brought towards him, just walking towards him slowly. This is where the Diva Path widened his eyes. Then he says, Shinrai Tensei blows Naruto away. Naruto wasn't blown. Naruto defining the gravity that the Rinnegan gives the user. So where Naruto, his eyes, they change and morph into the eyes, third eye open. And this is where Naruto takes off his mask and finally shows his true self. Now, let me go back into the Jonin Senseis. The Jonin Senseis are actually killed. Kakashi was killed by Zabuza by slicing him in half. Asuma was actually killed by, well, Ao. I think, is it Ao? No, it was Haku. Haku managed to kill him. Of course, where Kurenai, Anko, and what's it called, Yuga, tries to fight against these what's called ninjas, but of course got killed. This is where, well, a bunch of people got killed. Also, the main head of the Hyuga were actually being overrun and killed. This is where, well, Kuma ninjas decided to bring out what's it called, the side branch, and the main branch was killed because Neji was actually well, somewhat in command because Karin was also her kind of like uncle was in command of like one fleet of Kuma ninjas, and so Karin managed to kind of get her uncle in communication and kind of help her with, well, the side branch family and the main branch family. And of course, this is where the Kuma does help. Well, the Kuma uncle of her uncle and all that. It does help by killing the main branch and bringing the side branch out and bringing them towards, well, the Kuma village. Basically out in the outskirts of, well, the fire country. But yeah. Naruto, we go back into Naruto. Naruto seeing all the Akatsuki. Naruto appears. Well, appears. This is where Naruto says, I'll show you what a true god is, you pathetic weaklings. This is where, well, he looks at the Rinnegan user, and this is where Naruto says, and you think you're a god? I'll show you what a true god is. His whole body, he flexes his muscles outwards, and kind of like, he looked like he turned into, well, he kind of went into like a T position. And of course, this is where Naruto says, let me show you what a true god is. His left side that had his blue eye over kind of starts going with a kind of goldenish, whitish color going all around. In the, well, mostly in the left side. In his right side, his red eye was glowing into a reddish color. And kind of changing his clothes. Now, of course, it just split from half. But of course, it decides to merge. It merged together. And of course, this is where it has all those colors. And of course, his eyes, it shows, well, the red eye, this eye, but turns into a Manekyo Sharingan, an EMS. Basically looking like Itachi's. Because when he crushes Itachi's, like, eyes, he did actually, well, absorb them. Even destroying Madara, but also taking, well, something from Madara's eyes. It looks like a mixture of Madara and Itachi's eyes. Well, mostly in this side. His blue side, it just looks like that. But of course, his hair, I should mention, it might be black and white. One side is actually goldenish gold, while the other side is just black. But of course, this is where horns appeared. One side is kind of a golden horn, while the other side is a black and red horn. Well, gold and blue horn and all that. Of course, what's called a halo appears on top of Naruto's head. That's where this halo. One side is black, while the other halo is yellow. Well, yellow and the other side is kind of like dark blue. So, yeah. Being the negative version of yellow. This is where 6 wings appear. One side being angel wings, while the other side being demonic wings. Now, his third eye decides to also be the form. The third eye is basically death eye. The third eye being like a Shinigami death eye abilities. This is where his face, like a mask, appears. It looks like, okay, this is how. So what it looks like that a mask actually appears being all bones, and it looks like a bull skull. That's what it looks like. So if you can look at the screen, but yeah. Of course, he has that, and of course, this is where bones started appearing, like on, well, not on his back. Mostly like a skeleton's tail appeared on his back, like under his, like, a tail just near his back. And of course, the skeleton tail was sharpened, razor sharp and all that. And of course, this is where, well, bones on his fingers started appearing, like over his, like, fingers. Of course, he already still had bones, but he had more, being more stronger in protection, being sharpened. That's where Naruto also arms did have that. Now, of course, armor did appear all around. From his demonic side, it had like this reddish, crimson red armor. Now, I should mention about the demonic wings. The demonic wings were like black, like this color. From the angel wings were like angel wings. But of course, the other side had a golden kind of color of armor. This is where Naruto is kind of breathing out like this frost from his mouth. This is where Naruto smiles. Because the bull mask doesn't actually cover what they call his like smile. It doesn't cover up his face, like his like mouth. It does kind of cover up his nose, but yeah. Of course his eyes aren't covered because it's right now glowing, and his third eye is open through what's it called, the middle of his head from the bullhorn. So yeah, or not bullhorn, from the bull skull, but yeah. Naruto says, "Behold the power of a god." His sword transforms into the true blades. So this blade, let me go find it. This is the true form of the katana. That's what it transforms. And for the light side, it will be. So that sword was the true sword of the demonic side. While for the other side, it looks like Excalibur. That's what it transformed into, like a goldenish blue Excalibur. And for the scythe, it just transformed just being black. So that just looks black. This is where Naruto says, "Now die." Naruto just walks a little bit forward and cuts all the Akatsuki's down. And even looks at Menma and Mento. This is where Menma looks at what's called Naruto with glaring eyes. And Naruto stabs him with the demonic sword. While he looks at, Mento. And Mento kind of gets scared and says, "Please, Naruto, no." This is where Naruto smiles and says, "Naruto, yes." Naruto, after stabbing Menma's whole body just ignited to crimson red flames, bringing his body towards hell. And Naruto looks at, Mento, and stabs her also with the hell blade. This is where also burning her body, but also stabbing her with the blue blade, shooting lightning from the sky and just striking her. This is where Mento would say, "Ah, ah." I also did that to Menma, I don't know why. But yeah. Of course, this is where Naruto looks at with the last Diva Path. Well, not Diva Path, Obito. That's right now hiding. Or not hiding, mostly just standing on top of a building. Naruto appears right in front of him and says, "Three sword style. Ashura." Well, not Ashura. He says three sword style. Death killing blade. Or not death killing blade. He says death style. Three sword style, not three sword style. He says three weapon style. Death. He cuts through Obito. And Obito widened his eyes because he was right now in coma wave. And that should have just went through him. But instead, his whole body gets cut into three pieces. And he dies. Ugh. This is where Naruto smiles. And now he looks for, the last remaining member. And that is, Nagato and Konan. Naruto disappears, appearing right in front of the tree and saying, "Die." But something happened. Someone with a galaxy cloak figure appeared out of nowhere and says, "I will not let you live any longer, because I am here to protect worlds from turning into the Dark Age." But before even going close to try to stop Naruto, he realized the power. Naruto's already in full max power. Galaxy Naruto couldn't do anything to try to stop Naruto because this Naruto has already surpassed him. He says, "Damn it, if only I was here a little bit." He gets cut, but this is where he got brought back into another war. So yeah, Galaxy Naruto was kind of almost killed. This is where Death Naruto rises faster towards Nagato and Konan. Konan tries to shoot out like paper blades at Naruto, and Naruto cuts them all down with the Hell Blade. And this is where he used the Heaven Blade to strike lightning into, Nagato. This is where Konan says, "Nagato!" Stab with the Shinigami, not Shinigami blade, with the Heaven Blade. Stabbed her into the mostly tree. She's right now can't do anything because her whole body is right now just feeling like lightning all around. Naruto pulls out the, scythe out of his mouth and goes to Nagato and says, "Die!" Cuts him. It's where killing him, taking his soul, but also absorbing the Rinnegan and having the Rinnegan pattern right into Naruto's eye. That's where Naruto says, "Even though I didn't need the pattern, I just needed a little bit of power because I wanted to know about the abilities. Pathetic die, crushing the soul and killing Conan. This is where we go back into the village. But we go into a 12-year 12-year time skip. After what's called, Conan had been destroyed and risen to the ground. Just destroyed and thrown to the ground. Of course, Kumo, Stone, and Sand, and even what's it called, the Mist Village, all took the riches. The Fire Daimyo got angry and tries to, threaten them, but of course he didn't have power and didn't have military power, so of course they just killed him. Now, we go into, a 24-year-old Naruto. Naruto's now 24 years old. And Naruto, he is just fine because he actually has, kids with Tamari, Kurisuki, and even, how should I say? Oh yeah, and even Samui. So his kids, they all have different abilities from him. So yeah, Tamari has 2 kids, and 2 of those kids actually has, 2 different abilities. One is like a greenish eyes and kind of blonde hair, but has black a little bit. Of course, his eyes are green, and of course, his luck is unbelievable. He's actually the god of luck. And then there is what's called his twin brother, who is the god of unluckiness, and yeah. But of course, they don't need to really curse each other for what's called power, but they don't really like each other that much. Naruto is the only one keeping them together, but yeah. This is where Naruto sees his other 3 children, and one child has what's called basically black hair, fully black hair. His eyes are kind of black, and it looks like he can't see, but he can. And of course, this is where his skin is kind of palish white. He basically got the power of death. One of the other ones has what's called goldenish hair, blue eyes, like Naruto's kind of left side. And of course, this is where he got 2 wings, because he activated 2 wings. This is where, he has the goddess side, mostly the god side. And the other one has basically the double side. So yeah. So the other one has his eyes being red and all that, just crimson red, darker kind of skin color. Of course, this is where he also has dark black hair, but it's red highlights. Of course, this is where he has dark wings, and yeah. This is where Naruto's laughing because, yeah, they all are kind of arguing, but yeah. This is where, we go into, Neji kind of did marry Karu or Karin, whatever her name is. Of course, this is where, if you want to mention, where is Karin Uzumaki? Well, she is, kind of dead because Naruto did kind of go on a rampage and destroying all of Orochimaru's bases. So yeah, killing her also. But yeah. Actually, no, she's not dead. She's actually kind of married towards what's called Conqueror. But yeah, because Naruto found her when he was actually destroying. But yeah. Of course, is where, all Gaara and Fu are together. But yeah, they have a kid and all that. But of course, it's been about 12 years, and they're 24, almost all of them, mostly. So of course, Naruto, he is what they call 6'5". He's actually that tall, and the new Kazekage is actually Gaara. The new Kuma Ninja, not Kuma Ninja. The right Kage is someone. The Stone Kage is Kurisuki still, and the Mist Kage would be, Haku. So yeah. Haku will also be someone kind of married towards Naruto and has a kid. And their kid is actually just an ice god. So yeah, I forgot to mention him. But yeah. Or not, yeah, him. So yeah, this is the end of this what if. Also, Naruto also defined, Tomura did try to get the Byakugan gun from the Kuma ninjas, but Neji killed his ass, basically kicked his ass easily. But yeah. But, of course, this is where I'm gonna leave it, not leave it off, end it off. For what if Naruto was a half god, half demon, and half death? So yeah, this is the end of this what if, and this is part 7. yeah. So have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, and pie. Potato.